I'm excited about hummus. That's all I was trying to get to. I was trying to say
Hummus. Welcome to Sat Chats Rehash, the Bitcoin podcast where we chatting about sats. We've got number 65, Michel. We've got number 66, Michael, and number 67, Megan on the dial today. I'll be your host, Stuart Bitcoin Maxi, who wears prescription sunglasses to protect you and your from a bitch blue. What? We in here taping, boys.
all right, and I'm your co-host, Chris, founder and CEO of Ithaca Hummus. Okay, resident smash buyer when my wife lets me. And we're doing a giveaway on YouTube.
Yep.
You got to subscribe to enter. If you do, you could win 10 million sats.
10 million.
A whole lot of sats.
That's a whole lot. That's
Just
over $10,000 at today's exchange rates.
All you have to do is subscribe. We're marching towards Kristen's wife, number 99, the
Yep.
beloved. Coming soon. We got what? We're closing in on it.
Yeah, we're like
closing in
20
on it.
episodes away, 2022.
Yeah, so stay with us, subscribe, give us some watch hours, show us some love.
Yeah, do it. Share it with people. Bring more people into the Bitcoin Welcome Center, please.
Now, we got a rehash here,
Yep.
which rehashes are my least favorite to tape. Can I just say that?
They're your least favorite to tape?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. They
Okay.
just, short stacks are nice because they're like pop, you just in and out.
Yeah.
Rehashes, it's like, it's like reflecting. It's like remembering and rehashing. I'm more of a,
Yeah.
get on to the next thing.
How are you going to learn?
I know. I need to get better at that. So I think I need to just learn to love rehashing.
Is there somewhere in your mind where as like a business owner, these are our worst performing pieces of content?
No, I don't think that's it.
Okay.
I don't think that's it.
You don't feel like it's like wasted time? You're like, nobody's going to watch this.
No, maybe a little bit.
Uh-huh.
If rehashes were like through the roof, I'd probably feel better about them.
Sure.
To your point.
Okay, but that's not the driver.
No, I think the driving factor is that I'm just a future oriented person.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always worried about what's out there,
Right.
to my own detriment.
Yeah, because what do we only really have here?
Today, right
we
now.
only got today, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I love rehashes for two reasons. One, I feel like this is the purest vibe. If you've watched enough of our show because of your interest in Bitcoin to where you now like us as well and you care about us, this is where you can hang out with us. We're not stressed out in terms of trying to help a pre-coiner make the right choice. We're not stressed out trying to pull a good story out of a Bitcoiner or weave in the pre-coiner pitch. We're not trying to blast on a single topic in a short amount of time. We're just like, for me, it's like the stress is off. We're talking about our achievements, our accomplishments. We're hanging out. And we've had like the rehash we did where we talked about tokenizing the Black Forest was beautiful. And that was one of the first episodes where you were like, hey, let's quit being so chappy centric.
Yeah.
And just start vibing.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this stuff's good. The other reason why I like rehashes, my dad loves them.
Good.
This is his favorite type of content we produce.
Yeah. It is
Because
like,
he loves that we're
time with
cleaning
us.
up our side of the street.
Yeah. Well,
And we're talking about what we've done wrong. And he thinks it's amazing.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, first, let's get into this because I'm excited about hummus. That's all I was trying to get to. I was trying to say
hummus. Dude, my favorite part of number 65, Michel, was when we were trying to figure out how to say hummus, and he was coaching us live from Beirut, dude. Could you imagine a year ago being coached live from Beirut on how to say hummus? And, incredible, dude.
Yeah.
My gratitude is like through the roof right now because so many people are so wonderful. And all we ever get on like the news and in the comment section, are just like nasty people and nasty bots and negativity, fear. They're just trying to hijack your limbic system.
Look, that limbic, that is not real life, though.
It's
Don't
not
let
real
them
life.
convince you. That's not real life. That's
Humans are good people.
Good people, man.
Humans are good people.
Just good Topeka people.
And they're...
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Almost Famous?
Almost Famous. No.
Okay.
I think I know the movie a little bit, but I don't ever watch it.
Hummus.
So number 65, Michel, was teaching us how to say hummus. And when I finally got it down, he was like, okay, now you need to be careful because with the sunglasses and the dark beard, you look like you're an Arab. Dude, he was like, warning, you might be mistaken for a terrorist.
What did I just do?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Number one, it's funny that he was like kind of watching out for me because he didn't want me to look too Arabic. But it's also kind of sad because a lot of Arabic dudes just got absolutely wrecked on account of just being Arabic. You know?
Yeah.
They were walking around just like looking for some hummus. And, a more powerful country was like, you're in jail. You know what I mean? So anyways, that was a funny part of this episode.
Yeah.
I loved that he came to us live from Beirut. I loved seeing the sunny, dusty landscape behind him as he was
beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to be there so badly.
It was like a desert spring.
And it was Friday at 5 p.m. for him, so I was already feeling like the end of the day vibes for him. I was like, this dude's the man. He had a great story, too, about how Lebanon basically rug pulled its citizenry.
I do remember you kind of projected onto him that he was about to go out and get some ladies that night.
Later on, I was like, well, maybe he doesn't like ladies.
I thought that immediately.
Because he has like a nice, clean-shaven head. He had like a well-tended beard. And I'm like, maybe my guy likes dudes. And I shouldn't be telling him that he's going to go out and get the Lebanese ladies. Because maybe he wants the Lebanese dudes, or both.
I have no idea.
But I felt the same way later. I was like, dude, I was really like hammering this idea that he was going to get the ladies. But it was because he looked good.
Yeah.
I just was saying earlier that most guys don't look very good.
What was making you say that?
Oh, we're a family-friendly podcast. I don't even know if I can talk about it, but It was Chris's incredibly pale thighs. Okay, they're going from like an orange red up to like a skin color, then just like full no sun exposure white up at the top.
What were you doing looking at those?
You were just pulling up your shorts to like turn your like workout shorts into like a Speedo, and like you just could not look down at them. But it's like, most of us guys are gross. But and I don't even know how these ladies stand it, but Michel was a handsome dude.
He was.
Michel was a handsome dude.
Great complexion, well-tended facial hair.
Who do you think are the top 3 most attractive dudes that came on our show?
What a weird question.
Is it?
You tell me.
Michel.
Okay.
Lawrence. Lawrence was the darling accent. Remember, he was the Brit with the darling accent
in Chicago who does real estate.
Yeah. And if you don't know the number 1 most handsome dude that came on this show, you're off this podcast. So you better answer this correct, or there will never be another episode of this show. Who is the most attractive man to come on this show?
Dude, what are you trying to do to me? I mean, is it me?
Bro, let me give you another hint. Who's the most rizful?
Oh, Lion.
Well, that's what you think. But what do I think?
You?
Lucola Bang, bro. The Kiwi with the glasses and the hair and the mustache. And he was the only person who ever said, I'll take the calculator.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the man. Yeah. We got some handsome dudes.
Dude, I wonder if Lucola's still out there watching.
He commented recently. Within the past month, he left one comment that was like, hello, gentlemen.
It's like all you guys are like our pen pals.
Yes.
We like wait by the mailbox for your letter.
Oh my God.
And then when we get it, it's like they're still out there.
Our producer Jeremy JB Long, this morning he said Jonna hasn't commented in 11 days. We about to send a search party for Jonna.
Jonna, are you okay? Can you hear us?
We're about to call the authorities in the Philippines and be like, dude, where is Jonna Falculin? Go check on her.
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
I haven't heard from my boy DS Flat.
Yeah.
Maybe he heard us ripping on him about going underneath the earth to find more gold. Do you remember that?
You think he's
You go up there?
You think he's got a resentment for us?
I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I don't think that was it.
Okay.
But he's living in like Vietnam or something. He's like an Englishman in Vietnam, so we don't know where. Maybe it's just hot over there right now for them. But we love you. We see you. We miss you when you're gone.
All right, let's go to Michael.
Oh, man. All right, well, first of all, let's see what Chappie said about Michel.
Yeah.
Chappie's oh, my God.
She's like, Chris.
All right, so quick feelings about Michel in Beirut. Strong personal story that makes the costs of fiat currency collapse vivid. Demonstrable misstatements and fixes. Let's see here. Beirut blast was the largest non-nuclear explosion ever. It is one of the largest since 1945. Halifax in 1917 and Texas in 1947 were comparable.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Okay. And then I guess this is also worth noting. He talked about, how were wars conducted in the past? Well, kings would go to war until they ran out of sound money.
Well, and before they could even go, they would have to raise money from the citizens of their land.
And this is kind of her point, actually, because he said kings ran out of gold, so wars stopped. And she said, well, early modern wars were generally halted by exhaustion of tax capacity or credit, not literal gold depletion. So they had to be able to draw it. And when they could no longer draw it, it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
They wouldn't necessarily like run out down to their last gold coin.
Yeah, but the answer is money.
Yeah.
Ran out of money.
If your money is limited, your power is limited. And I think that's another huge thing that this show could do for people. Is to we're trying to reach pre-coiners with this idea of how important their money is to them.
Right.
But we also need to be focusing on how important it is for larger governments in their lives. If your money is limited, your power is limited.
Well, correction, as it should be for a nation who's trying to conduct business outside of their own borders.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael.
All right, number 66, Michael.
I mean, I don't know. I hate to say this. I just have a icky feeling about it.
About the episode? About Michael? About something else? I
mean, how do I say how I feel without, I don't want to offend Michael or anything.
Well, but maybe you don't need to say something specific about Michael, but you could talk about how the episode made you feel.
Yeah, it made me feel like he just was not open to the ideas that we were discussing. Like he had already ruled them out. And he was not open and he was not curious.
So do you feel like he came onto the show with his mind already made up?
He came onto the show wanting to, I feel, look smarter than us. And then in the end, walk away feeling like he outsmarted us and got us. I think those were his true intentions. But I could be wrong. It's just a feeling. It's just how I felt about it.
I can understand that. And there were a number of comments where our Satillionaires were saying, this guy outsmarted himself. And we hope he gets dumb enough to buy some Bitcoin soon, Or someone else said something like, his mental model is too complete. So he can't get Bitcoin into there. His worldview is too fossilized.
There's no room for new information.
So you felt that way, and some of our Satillionaires felt that way too. And we really like when you all observe your feelings and share your feelings. Okay, and please continue to do that in the comments. Here's how I feel. I feel like when I go back to that theory of wins above replacement, where somebody speaking to number 56, Marissa, his older sister, they would not have been able to get her to stack sats, but I was able to get her to stack sats. So my wins above replacement there is 1.
You got a +1 for that.
Somebody could have done a better job with the pieces on the chessboard than we did. And when I was editing his tape, there were at least 2 solid moments where we could have gotten to him. The first was in the opening of the show when he talked about how he had just come across an interesting story recently. I really hate when I can't hear the opportunity, man. It burns me up, dude. We missed it with number 51, Pallavi. We missed it with number 66, Michael. He said, hey, man.
Go back and watch it. Comment in the rehash.
Okay.
What's Stuart talking about right now? What's the story? And what did Stuart think his angle could have been?
Yeah. All right. Do you want me to share it here or you want them to try to figure it out?
I want them to try to figure it out.
All right. Well, there were 2 opportunities that Michael gave us to open up the floor to him to explore something he was interested in talking about.
Okay.
And we could have figured that would have given us an opportunity to present that angle of Bitcoin. But he gave us one opportunity. We skimmed right over it. He gave us another opportunity and I batted it aside as if it were worthless.
Maybe so Michael is one of the 6.
That's probably what you all should know.
Okay.
He's the 6th guest to choose cash.
And so maybe one thought experiment here could be to ask our OG Bitcoiner audience,
like OG Furious,
go back, listen to this episode. Tell us what you would have done. What would you have done differently?
Oh,
Stuart's already got 2 that he feels like listening to it himself, he would do differently if he could go back in time. Maybe there's more.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Dude, watch our tape.
Watch our stuff. Especially, we're not going to ask this every time, but if we've got somebody who took the cash, they're going to be coming back in 9 months. We need to prep. All of us.
Yes.
So help us out.
I need your help on number 9, Paul. Watch that tape. Put in the comments what we could have done differently.
Number 9.
Number 21, Dima.
21.
Put that in the comments. Number 31, don't worry about him because he took the cash as a souvenir. Number 43 is Robin. Go back and look at his tape. Tell me what I did wrong. Number 51, Pallavi. Okay. And I've actually talked about where I think we could have done better there, but you tell me. And then number 66, Michael.
So that's 5. Okay.
Try to give me those numbers back real quick.
Dude, no way. But if you are impressed with Stuart's ability to recall guest number, and name, just like that, you better be subscribing. You better be liking. You better be commenting.
Subscribe.
Come on.
Yeah. So super interesting, and I love the idea of asking our Satillionaires to help us see what we could have done differently.
Yes.
And it might be Og Furious, by the way, because it's a lowercase g. So Og Furious, OG Furious, you tell me which one it is so we don't mess you up in the future. All right. So let's see what Chappie says.
I think you know. What's coming here.
Episode number 66, Michael. Quick feelings. Fun debate style energy. Nice contrast between value investing mindset and BTC thesis. I kind of wanted her to be like, yeah, he was closed-minded. She's not really giving it to me. All right. Loses focus after 45 minutes.
Who does?
It just says loses. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Loses focus after 45 minutes. Same points restated at length. But here's what it said earlier about Michel. Pacing wanders. 90-minute backstory before you reach what can listeners do. The episode was not 90 minutes long. So what are you talking about?
She's hallucinating, I guess. But you know what? I had this thought earlier. Is that it for Michael?
No. Here, let's look at well, there are some. We'll see what the misstatements are. But before you forget your thought.
Yeah, so it could be interesting to ask Chappie specifically, what could we have done better to make this episode more digestible for the beginner audience that we're seeking to serve? Just as a feedback loop that we're always getting a little...
On the rehash, also put that in there for her to do
Maybe.
for us?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
This rehash is... Now that we're getting into it a little bit, I'm starting to see some more value here.
Yeah.
Because it is a great opportunity for us to sharpen our axe a little bit.
Yeah.
And we can use Chappie to help us do that.
I like that. So let's see if there's anything we did or said wrong. Let's see here. I remember that he talked about being interested in Bitcoin's anonymity. And when he learned that it's not as anonymous as he thought, it kind of lost a lot of value for him. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he said this: Bitcoin lost its anonymity when the IRS seized $1 billion, ... 3 dots, by the way.
Yes.
Therefore, no privacy, right? He's like, when he realized that there wasn't any privacy, he's like, I'm done. But he did talk about putting it onto like a USB key and traveling around the world. Well, here's what Chappie says. The seizure, the IRS seizing $1 billion showed traceability of careless users. Coin control tools like a new address for each payment.
I haven't done that, by the way.
It's okay. CoinJoin, Lightning, etc. still give usable privacy. Dang. See? Because when he comes back on in 9 months, I'll be like, number 1, you were interested in this thing. Are you still interested? Number 2, you want to know? You still want to? Number 3, privacy, CoinJoin, Lightning payments, 1 address per payment. Like, we're gonna be ready, dude. SAB 121 was repealed. It says congressional resolution passed but was vetoed May 31st, 2024. So SAB 121 remains. I think that's just wrong. I think it has been repealed since then. And we're good there. Okay, so let's move on to this thumbnail. I love it. You figure it out, babe.
You figure it out.
You figure it out, babe. Number 67, Megan.
Oof.
So her husband, her ex-husband, she put a lot of emphasis on ex.
It sounds like they're still friends, though. She was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's cool.
No, I think she was like, I have no idea what he's doing now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it is. So her ex-husband wanted to buy a bunch of Bitcoin earlier in time when it was much less. And he got her all the way to being okay with it. But then he said, you have to figure out the hardware wallet for the Bitcoin. That is just insanity. And it hurts my heart to learn that a husband was able to get his wife to the
finish line.
Dude, he was edging. She was edging, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he got her right to the edge. He's like, but you got to do the rest of it. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
If I had been Megan's husband, and because she's a successful lady, so she's financially in a great spot. I mean, she's talking about calling her financial guy to give him $20,000 to go buy her another house, as a down payment. So they were going to probably buy not a small amount of Bitcoin, maybe $10,000 worth of Bitcoin when it wasn't even $1,000 per, or even less. And he gets her all the way there, and then he just fumbles so hard on the 99-yard line. You, my wife, have to figure out the hardware wallet. What was he thinking?
Mr. Big Shot Delegator.
Oh.
Just got wrecked.
He wrecked himself.
Wow.
How could you do that? It's like I found a treasure island.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go there, it's covered in gold coins to the point where you can't see the sand underneath, but you got to figure out the treasure chest on our ship for how we're going to get it back onto. Dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
No, idiot.
Where's
Insane.
Yes.
She actually also opened my eyes to the concept of a self-directed individual retirement account.
Mm-hmm.
because I told her I was no longer happy with the paper Bitcoin that I have through Abby's Fidelity ETF,
Happy.
and that I was going to sell the paper Bitcoin and take the early withdrawal hit and the tax hit, and then take whatever fiat remained and smash it into Bitcoin. Because over time, I'll make back that money, and then I'll go to the moon, and I will control that Bitcoin, and that will be real Bitcoin, and I'll have the keys. And you could actually see when you look at the tape, her face, she experiences actual physical pain.
She was like, no. No.
Can you early withdraw here? No. Right? So she talked about converting into a self-directed IRA, which is basically just like a pot of cash that you can then use to buy any real world thing you wish, as if it is, target date 2050 mix of stocks and bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who like buy houses, and she has bought a house through her self-directed IRA, in her landlord vibe situation. But she said I could buy Bitcoin itself and hold the private keys and then do some shenanigans that she could help guide me through, where you like pay back the taxes you owe in lean years and pay no taxes in fat years, or like, I don't know. But a dude in the comments, not of her episode, but of another one where we asked, what did Bitcoin reset for you? It was in the comments of our most recent rehash. Hey, Brandon, it reset his life. What did it reset for you? One of our like tried and true satillionaires who's always in the comments was like, it reset his retirement account. And I shared some more. And then it turned out I referenced her episode, and he was like, I have a self-directed IRA. So one of our satillionaires has a self-directed IRA.
Vouched for her.
Yeah.
All right.
So what did you think about her episode? Because that was me gabbing a lot. And she did a lot of, she really helped me a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to hear that there are options available that if you were to talk to any financial advisor or someone who runs 401ks for companies, they're not going to tell you about. They're not going to tell you about a self-directed 401k. That doesn't serve them, because people who direct 401ks get paid to direct them. So they're not aligned with you, as an individual as much as you'd like them to be.
Yeah.
Oftentimes. And then other than that, I think, we should get Brendan's boss on the show.
Brendan, yeah.
Leave that there.
Yeah, we do. We really need that. So Chappie, very practical tax talk. Yeah, because she had like a handout as well.
Yeah, she did. Did we put that in the notes?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope so. Great handout promise for listeners. There's that. Episode drags while hosts crunch snacks.
Oh, jeez.
You don't know what this whole show's about, chaps.
We gotta listen to that.
We're not nothing without the crunch.
Yeah.
This show is literally nothing without our crunch.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the best moment. Man, Chappie. Sheesh, dude. Let me see real quick. It's 03.
Wow.
Okay, let's see here. Quote, you can personally hold the keys for Bitcoin in a self-directed IRA LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Chappie has to say. The IRS has not blessed personal custody. She's tripping.
Wait. What was she saying?
She's saying the IRS has not blessed. Oh, I'm not reading this right.
Has not blessed.
I read blessed personal custody, like, because self-custody is blessed. It's like the beloved. It's the blessed self-custody. Like, okay. That is where we want to. She's saying the IRS has not blessed personal custody. Most custodians require the key be held by a qualified third party to avoid a prohibited transaction. So it sounds like Chappie is challenging number 67 Megan's claim that you can hold the keys to your Bitcoin if you have a self-directed IRA.
Yeah, she's like, close. You can get closer than where you are today.
Yeah.
But you can't actually hold the keys because you need a trusted third-party custodian who is authorized to do that.
Right. So who's right? Number 67 Megan or Chappie?
She was adamant, though. She was like, you can hold your own keys.
Yeah.
And I think she was probably coming at that with a level of confidence that she feels about, like, let's say a house, for example. She's like, you can hold the keys to a house in a self-directed IRA. You can hold the keys to Bitcoin in a self-directed IRA.
Yeah.
But, you know, Bitcoin's different than real estate.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I'd be interested. She said mining in an individual retirement account is fine. Remember that? I was like, you say I can take my retirement money and buy a mining rig with it? Mining usually produces active income and will trigger UBTI/UBIT, wiping out the tax advantage unless done through a blocker corporation.
Jesus, UBTI. Can I get some medicine for that?
I don't want to. That sounds itchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sounds like it burns a little bit. That's so complicated, dude. I was listening to a podcast today where the guy was like, look, they're not going to ban this stuff. They're just going to try to make it more and more frictionful.
Yeah.
They're just going to try to make it harder and harder for you to actually grab this junk.
Yeah.
With all kinds of crazy regulations, all kinds of like hoops you got to jump through.
But Bitcoin needs to be regulated.
Oh,
that comment. Jeez.
All right. So that's good to go on there. So that was number 65, Michel. Hummus. Number 66, Michael, who, by the way, wrote us a thank you note by hand and mailed it through the post office and said, thanks for letting me come on the show. Then he signed it with a Latin phrase. Then he had a smaller area with some more Latin. Okay.
That was props.
So
respect for that.
Dude, that's amazing. And then number 67, Megan. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on YouTube for your chance at 10 million sats when we reach 99,999 plus one subscribers. Remember, Sat Chat's rehash is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.